I visited London, and whilst I was there, I picked up so much ephemera for my junk journal, and I also visited a couple of art markets and stationery shops. So I thought I would show you how I take a pile of papers like this that I've just gathered throughout my day and turn it into a junk journal page like this one. So this is more of a documenting my day style journal page. So this is slightly different to what I normally share on my channel, but I thought it would be interesting to show you my approach. And I do also have a haul of some stickers and stationery supplies to show you as well. But before we jump into that, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a tip for collecting all of this stuff, because obviously there's so much paper and ephemera you can gather and it can really get out of control. So all I did for this trip was I just took a little pouch like this one. You can use obviously any size that will fit in your bag, and that way then throughout the day all I was doing was just adding into this pouch. So rather than overpacking journaling supplies like I normally do, I just went with the idea that okay, I'm not going to do any journaling, I'm going to be just on the trip, and that way then I can just collect everything and have it all in one place, and then I'm able to journal with it after the fact. Another thing that I did was I also just ripped off any pieces that I wanted in particular from ephemera, especially if it was like a larger flyer or something, so that way I wasn't carrying around everything. I only had the bits that I wanted, and that just made it so much easier, because I know that sometimes if I just bring home the entire flyer, sometimes I'm not going to get around to actually cutting out the bits I want, and so that's just a really handy tip, just to take out the bits that you want straight away, and that way then you've got it ready to use. So something like this, we didn't go anywhere near this bread place, but it was just a stand that we passed as we were walking, and I really liked the font and the typeface here, so I decided to take the leaflet, and then I literally just ripped off the part that I wanted, and there was also this part here just because I wanted some cream paper as well. So rather than carrying around a whole leaflet about a bread school that I didn't even visit, I just decided to take off the piece that I want, and that way then I've got it ready to use in my journal. So as you can see, I've got a bunch of different things here. So I was keeping paper bags, napkins, leaflets, menus, maps, all sorts of different things. I'm not going to use everything in its entirety, but I just had it ready to pull out so I can use it within my journal page. So that is my pile of ephemera that I've got. And before I start this junk journal page, I thought I would share with you a few of the things that I picked up, because we did visit quite a few different stationery shops, considering I was only there for a short period of time. I've actually never been to any of them before, so I was super excited because I feel like I've seen them all online, people talking about them, but I've never actually visited. So we went to Choosing Keeping, Present and Correct, Muji, London Graphic Centre, and then I was also really excited because on the day that I was visiting, the Salad Days Market was having a pop-up near Borough Market. So you'll know if you've seen my videos before that I don't normally go crazy with the hauls on this channel, but I thought you'd be interested to see a few of the things that I picked up whilst I was in the stationery shop. So the first thing is I picked up some stickers from Grumpy Nook, who I've used her stickers before. I think they're so cute, and so I picked up a couple of these sticker sheets and then also the deco stickers as well. And I mean, these cats are so cute. So there was a few different patterns that I picked up, and I'm really excited to use these little small ones as well in my journals. I thought they were just so adorable. But yeah, bit of a male theme and sort of vintage inspired, and the colours I really like as well because they're a lot more muted, so they're perfect for my journals. And then in Present and Correct, I picked up a couple of things. So I'll show you this first. So I picked up a few bits of ephemera. They had these shelves with different papers, so they were like labels and tags and things like that. So I actually picked up like a paper bag here, and a smaller one as well, which I thought would be really nice for the inside of one of my journals perhaps, because it's the right size. I might tea dye it though, because obviously it's quite a stark white, but I just really liked the shape of it, and I thought it would be nice maybe with a tag or something inside of it. And then I picked up a couple of labels here. I don't normally do bright, but I did really love this pink here, and I thought maybe I could use it on this page that I'm working on. And then a couple of labels as well. and then this really adorable little tag, which I thought was so cute. And so I thought things like this would work really well in my junk journal that I've got here, or in my commonplace book as well, where I've got space for different quotes. So using these labels just within here to add different things to, I thought would work quite nicely. I did also pick up a couple of pens that I've not used before. So these are the Artline 200s. They are fine liners in 0.4. So this is sort of like a really warm brown color, and then there is also this pink, which I thought would be really fun. It's more of a peach, I suppose. So like I said, I've not used these pens before, but I was intrigued and thought maybe I'll give them a go and see what they are like. I also just really liked the colors of these as well. Then in the London Graphic Centre, they had the best stand of so many different MT washi tapes. I've never seen so many in my life, and so that made it really hard, because I was like, okay, I know I want to pick up some washi tapes, but what am I going to choose when there's so many? And I actually just went really basic. So I just went with a pale green here, and also this sort of pale red, I suppose. It's not quite pink. I thought that these would work well because they are ones that will go with anything, because sometimes I get a little bit bored of my washi tapes when I have like the same patterns over and over, and I thought that having a color like this, I don't actually have many just like plain colored washi tapes, so I thought that these colors would work nicely together. So I just picked up two, and then I did have to go full tourist and pick up some London stickers. So these are some cute little stamps. I thought that these would work well for some of my journal pages, and of course the actual card that's inside here as well, I think will be great for using on a journal page, because it's almost like a faux airmail style envelope. And then finally in Muji, I picked up a few pens. So I picked up these two fine liners. So again, similar to these ones here that I got from Present and Correct. So this one is in chestnut brown. So they do look kind of similar here, but I promise you they're different colors. This is more of like a true like brown color, whereas this one is like a warmer tone, I suppose. I promise they're different. I'm not just buying the same brown pen in every shop. And then I also bought the same pen but in olive green, because I don't have a pen in this color, so I thought that would be fun to try. I did also pick up a brush pen in black, and this one is slightly different from the Tombow that I normally use. So just as a comparison, so this is the Tombow Fudenosuke in the soft tip. So you still get that line weight difference, but there's a lot more control, I guess is how I would describe it. Whereas with this pen here, you can see obviously the line weight varies a lot more, and it feels a lot more fluid, I guess. That is something slightly different, that I don't have a pen like this in my collection. So I was like, okay, I feel like I'm justified in buying a brush pen like this, so you can see the difference there. So I think that will be really fun to use as like headings and titles and things, even within my more mixed media style junk journals. So those were the stationery items that I picked up whilst I was in London. I feel like that's pretty controlled considering the scale of some of these shops. Like the London Graphic Centre was huge. So the journal I'm using here is a Hobonichi A5, and this is actually the 2025 version, because it was half the price than the 2026 version, and most of the pages are still the same in terms of how I tend to use this journal. Now, even though this is an A5 size journal and is obviously more space than the A6 journal that I've used in previous years, I still feel that this is quite a small space for documenting this amount of ephemera. Luckily, the day I visited was the end of February, so I have this space here into March. I'm just going to use this space here as my extra space for journaling. I don't normally do a huge amount with these title pages. Sometimes I'll do like a little collage or things, but I don't really have anything to include. So I'm just going to go straight across because it's my journal and I make the rules. So we'll see how we go, because I might end up adding maybe some like tip-ins and things as well, just because there's a lot that I've got here. But if this wasn't on a page like this where I have the extra space, what I would probably do is add in that extra page just to give me enough room. So the first thing I'm probably going to do is cut out some of the pieces that I've got with the places that we visited, do a little bit of like auditioning, I suppose, to see where I want everything to sit. So I think the thing I love the most about picking up leaflets and flyers when you go on trips is that you can use different fonts and text for your headings and things in your journal, because you can just cut out either the full text that's on the flyer, or you can cut out bits and pieces of it and use them in your pages. So I'm just going to take the bits that I need from all the different ephemera, and then that way then I can use it on my page, so it will kind of feel, I suppose, less like I'm just like pasting everything down, which is of course still cool. This way I think it just helps to, I guess, create a bit more of like a personalized journal page with, you know, the things that you found most interesting about your day. I've just cut out the logo there because I really like the font. And let's see if I want anything else. I do really love this little piece here, so I might just cut all the bits I want out and then see how it goes with rearranging it on the page. Now, I'm fully aware that this video is probably going to be a little bit longer than some of my other ones, just because I'm chatting away here and showing you the full process of how a page like this comes together. So let me know if this is something that you enjoy seeing. I'm never sure whether people like longer videos or not. Let me know. And if you are working on your journal or a craft project whilst you're watching, I'd love to know what you're working on at the moment, or anything that you've finished recently. It's always fun to hear what people are working on. So I'm going to cut out a couple of these little icons here just because I think they're really cute, and they might be nice just to spread throughout the page as little decorative elements. So again, going like true junk journal style and trying to mostly use things that I have picked up. So you can see from this flyer, I can pick out text, I can pick out little elements. If I wanted to, like, I could pick out just like the pink and use the colors, or I could even write the letters on and sort of cut those out as well and use that just as another way to get some pink lettering on my page. This is always the dilemma when you're using a leaflet that's double-sided. It's kind of like, okay, well, which side am I going to use? And sometimes I can never decide. And of course, some of this text I might not use necessarily on this page, but this font is really nice for other pages perhaps. Okay, so those are the bits that I have cut out from that leaflet. I do have a few other text pieces here. I'm just going to pop them to the side for now, because these leaflets, like, this was from the bread thing that I picked up, and even though I didn't go there, like to the bakery school, obviously it's a bit random, but I was just like, oh, it has cool text about the fact they had a location in Borough Market. I'll just take out the text about Borough Market because that's the place that we visited. And I think what I want to try and do is get a little bit of a background going first. So there's a few things that I picked out here that could be good as background. So obviously classic, a paper bag. There was also a pink one as well. I've got some cream paper here, another brown bag, and then also a napkin from, we had Humble Crumble, which I'd never actually heard of before, but it was pretty nice. But they had pink napkins, and I didn't use the napkin because I was like, I want to save it for my journal. And I do also have these bits here. So we stopped by the V&A and I really wanted to see the William Morris exhibit. This is a little bit scraggly because somebody had just like left one of the maps. I just picked out, like I said, I got a few of the bits that I knew I might want to use on my journal page. I thought that this would be really nice as a border perhaps. Now I'm thinking about it, maybe I could even like cut this out. So something like this. There we go. So we have more of a floral border here. And actually, minus a little bit of trimming, this is actually the perfect size for this page. So I could either do it on this page, or I'm tempted to kind of do it on this page, maybe. Or I could do it here. And then where are my background pieces? So I have the paper bag here from Present and Correct, and I thought that this would be perfect for doing some writing on. So I'm probably just gonna take the bottom half of this and I won't waste this, obviously. I thought I would include the pink, but I'm not sure. Maybe I need to do it like a thin layer perhaps. Ooh, what about underneath here? Ooh, there we go. Do you reckon I could make that look cute? That would be nice, wouldn't it? And then have that over the top. And then I'm not going to use this brown bag here, so I've got that spare for something else. And let's see, I'm trying to keep very organized, but as I'm fully aware, you can probably see on my desk, stuff is going everywhere. So let's try and get a little bit more organized. So just from this map, I just wanted the text from here because we went to the V&A. So let's just take that out from there. Maybe the logo. I do quite like the logo. I'll just take those few bits and then we'll see what we end up using. I just want to get a little bit organized on this desk because it is like a junk journal ephemera explosion going on here. So I did also pick this up just because I thought it was a nice picture. I wanted to show you that if you don't take pictures or you can't print them off for whatever reason, try seeing if there's leaflets or things that already have pictures in them. Be able to use those within your journal so you don't have to worry about printing and things. So I'm thinking for this, what I might do is cut out just the building maybe. So like this. And that way then I can use it as a little bit of a design element on my page. So I am taking some creative license with how I'm fussy cutting this. So I'm probably taking off little chunks of the building here, but you know, it doesn't have to be completely perfect. I'm just sort of getting roughly the shape of what's going on here. So this might end up like being a little bit wrinkly on this page, honestly, but it doesn't have to be perfect, does it? So this is just an honest look at what most of my journal pages look like. Now, there's a little bit of a pattern on this napkin, but I think that's all right. So let's go, I'm gonna go like on the edge here. Ooh. Hopefully I don't rip the napkin. That's the first thing, because if ever there was a time where I would rip a napkin or make a mess on a page, it would be when I am filming a journal with me video. So hopefully this turns out okay. Okay, so that's a little bit wrinkly, but we're gonna roll with it, and I'm gonna add this frame over the top here. So let's glue this down, and then I'm probably gonna add actually this underneath so that way it kind of brings the page together a little bit. Now I'm just gluing this down because I noticed I managed to get, I don't know what it was, on the paper bag, so I just wanted to cover that up. And this as well I think will help to break up the page a little bit, so it'll kind of give me sections to focus things in and do my writing. Oh, and I think the other background element I did have was a tube map, just because classic tourist moment for somebody that isn't from and doesn't live in London. Let's just pull a section of it out. So don't be afraid to cut up stuff. Like if you only want to use like a certain section, totally fine, you can do that. So I'm not being too precise here, but I don't know, I guess roughly it's got like Covent Garden, Leicester Square, Piccadilly Circus, etc, etc. That's kind of roughly where we were going. Let's include this somewhere as well. Oh, I almost want it as a background piece. Let's peel. Ooh, that's, yep, I guess. I do this all the time in my other journals, and normally I'm okay, but clearly that paper did not like being peeled back up. So let's just glue this bit in as well, because I'll probably end up sticking like a label over it or something, but just so that I've got like something from the tube in the journal. That's sort of what I'm going for here. So let's just go there, and then tuck you under there. There we go. Do you see? So it's not like a full focus of the page, but it's just something on there to do with that. The other thing I have as well that I thought I might want to include was receipts, but as we all know, the receipts are going to fade, so I just scanned them in, and then I've got a copy of them printed out. So I might just use maybe the London Graphic Centre one, just because I really like the text on this one. So one of the stickers I'm going to include is the Tower Bridge sticker, because that is one of the places that we visited. So maybe I could add that here. And I'm also going to include this little one here because we were on the bus as well as the tube. I'm trying to leave myself room for writing. So I've got up here, all the way down here. I've got down here as well and across here. And I still have a few things to add. Maybe the cup can go under here for the little iced coffee that we had. So you don't always have to like literally write down everything, or you know, include everything from everywhere you went. And I'm trying my best to do this page without any tip-ins, because I do love tip-ins, but I also like when everything is flat and I can see everything on a page. I don't know if you feel the same. So that's what I'm trying to do. And also, don't glue all of your cardboard into your journals. Make sure you peel off just the bit that you want, because then you'll save way more bulk within your journal pages. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually just taking like the names of the things we did. So like the humble crumble from the dessert and the leaflet from the coffee place. So rather than having to have a picture for everything, or even when I'm writing to have like a sort of itinerary almost, it's just sort of like a collection of all the things that we did during the day. And obviously, because there was a lot going on this day, this is a very busy journal page. So this is not the normal style that I do in this sort of journal where I just do my like day-to-day journaling. That's why I thought that I would show this, because I figured this would be a fun page for you to see. And also the style of using everything that I've collected, all the junk journal material. And I thought it would be good as well just to show you what you can achieve with things that you pick up throughout the day. Obviously I've got a couple of stickers here and a bit of washi tape, but otherwise so far everything I have picked up from leaflets, from paper bags, from napkins. Even these little pink stars here are from the leaflets. So you know, you really don't need a lot to get started with junk journaling. I've literally just got a pair of scissors, a glue stick and a bunch of ephemera to work with. And I do also have a photo booth that we did. So we went to the Waterstones on Gower Street, I think it's called. I just wanted to add this to the page as well, and I'm just going to use a paper clip just to attach it here, because things are getting a little bit bulky on this page, and so that way then I've still got room for writing, and I do really like that it covers up this little awkward area here and still includes it on the page. And I wore my glasses on the photo booth and the glare is kind of hilarious. So yeah, thought that would be fun to include there. And then let's just add these things here. So this matches down here, South Kensington. So again, this is from the bread leaflet that I picked up. So yeah, don't be afraid to pick up a leaflet from a place that you're not even going to, because they might have some really cool text that you can pinch for other things as well. So I'm going to put this here because obviously we went to the V&A, which is South Kensington. So I'm trying to keep things sort of together. Okay, and the only thing I'm missing is the pizza that we had. Obviously the most important thing, the pizza. So I might just put like something about the pizza over here. I did really like this from the restaurant, but I don't really know where that's going to fit now. Maybe I could just, I thought he was kind of cool. Maybe I'll put him under here. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to be really careful what pen I use on this surface because obviously it is tissue paper. So I'm probably going to use just a ballpoint pen because if I use a fine liner pen on this, it's going to spread like there's no tomorrow on the tissue. So I'm going to have to make a mental like note not to do that because I think this page is turning out really cute and that will completely ruin everything I've got going on the page. So let's put this, do you know what, should we put this down here because I feel like I've put the humble crumble down here, so let's put like the pizza as well. So all the food's there, all of the like markety stuff we did is there, V&A and everything on that side of the page. So I've kind of sectioned it out, as you can see, with spaces here to add my writing to. And I really like on this bag here where I've got the sort of lines and things to do the writing, so I think that will work really well. And let's put one of these stars underneath just to bring some of the pink down to the bottom of the page, so it's all kind of a little bit more cohesive then, I suppose, like that. So we've kind of got it above the name of the restaurant there but below the pizza, if you can see how that works, just so it stands out a little bit. Okay, now I think we're reaching capacity on this page. I did really love this, but I just don't think there's room for it unless I put it down here. Maybe. I do kind of like the text. There's just not room. I did have this from the bubble tea as well, so maybe I can use this. I am literally throwing everything apart from the kitchen sink at this page. But sometimes that's just how it is when you've had a day of sightseeing and everything. So maybe under there, over there. No, we'll put that on another page maybe. Or it could go there, I suppose. Ooh, I kind of like it there. Now, you're not going to peel up, are you? Or maybe you will. Why am I always like peeling things up on a page? I swear that's my worst habit, is like I stick something down and then I go, oh, actually, I've changed my mind. Let me start peeling this up, and then I rip all the paper. But luckily that sticker wanted to cooperate. So let's put this here. And that way then I've still got my room to write here, kind of separates with a little bit extra there and there. Oh, maybe the receipt sticker, because I couldn't add the receipt, could I? So maybe I'll add, yeah, maybe I'll add the little receipt sticker because that's kind of like shopping, I guess. I'm just going to take the white border off this. Okay, and I'm just going to add a couple of little stickers for decorations. These are the ones that I picked up from the stall. Okay, so after creating absolute craft chaos on my desk, this is the final junk journal page. So I hope you enjoyed joining me for the process of putting this together. I know it was a little bit different, so if you've made it this far, let me know what you thought. I will be adding writing to this, obviously. I'm going to use this Artline 200 fine liner pen in brown on this side of the page, and then I will just have to make sure that I use something that obviously plays nicely with the tissue on this side of the page. So I'm going to go and do that. I hope you enjoyed joining me for this video, and I will see you in the next one.